Okay, back on the boat this morning, so we're still preparing this top ready for paint. Last time we faired our track gutters on either side, so they're now ready for sanding. That epoxy fairing compound that we used is now nicely set up, so we can start sanding that. And then also we've got this section here that we removed just below the windscreen here that was rotten, with some plywood in here, and we've left the heater on there just to try and dry that plywood out. And although it looks dry, when we put the moisture meter on it, it's still definitely damp. So I think we're going to abort trying to dry that, and I think we're just going to go for the more destructive process of drilling and chiseling that out, and then we'll put a new piece in, epoxy it in, and then we'll be able to put that all back together. So all of that nasty plywood is now gone. In fact, I've got it here. Yeah, this had broken down pretty badly, so definitely the right decision to remove that. And if you look through there, you can actually see light. So the back of this front moulding is actually open, and then it got a sealant on it. So basically when we've been scraping this out, we just punch through the sealant, which is great actually. So that what that means is that we'll be able to put a new piece of foam board in here, epoxy that in to replace the plywood, that won't rot. We'll clean up this front edge, and then we'll be able to epoxy that piece of strip back in, and then from the back we'll be able to fill that with foam. So that'll be as good as new, and it will never get water damaged again. So we've cut our piece of 10mm foam, and then we've cleaned up all of these edges with a sander and wiped those all down with acetone. And then we've got our flap ready here, so we've just put some stirring sticks and hot glued those down, and that'll just allow us to put that in position while the epoxy goes off. So that'll just hold that in place. We'll use a little bit of tape on the ends, and that should hopefully give us a nice flush finish. And then we'll also put some epoxy, nice thickened epoxy, under this bottom edge as well, so water can't get in again in the future. So we'll get some epoxy mixed up and get that stuck into place. So we're just going to leave this flat now to set up. We've got our thickened epoxy along the bottom, and we've got the stirring sticks just to hold it in the right place while that goes off. So we'll leave that for an hour to set up. We've used the fast hardener, and next we're going to look at these holes that we need to fill. So this is about 4mm deep. We've dished this out, so we're going to need about 4 or 5 layers of chopped strand in there, small disc, and then just building those out in diameter just as they come out. And we want to leave probably about 1mm for gel coat, so we've got that one to do, and we've got the one on the other side. Okay, so it's a few days later, and we've just allowed this epoxy resin to set up, so that's nice and solid there now. You can see we've got epoxy resin under here where there was holes before, sat on a bed of epoxy resin, and we've got epoxy resin in the joint. So what we'll do is just wash this now with some clean water just to get the aiming blush off, and then we'll sand this and we'll get some epoxy based fairing compound on. Fairing compound has been laid down, so we'll leave that overnight now to set up, and then we'll be able to sand that and get that to a nice smooth finish. So what we're going to do now is move over to these bonded side windows. So the way we're going to tackle this is we need a rail at the bottom to be able to bond the window to. We've got a recess already on the inside here. You can see that, yeah, we've got a recess there. So we need something at the bottom to form a recess. So what we're going to do is use this fiberglass angle, and we've had some plastic profile strips made, and this is the right angle. So basically this is 16 degrees, so that'll tilt over the angle 16 degrees, and then that'll allow the glass to go up and to meet that recess up here. So all we need to do now is just cut these pieces of angle to the right length to sit inside here, and we'll do a dry fit, and then we'll probably get our window templates out and just see how that all works out. And then what we've also done is just put some tape up the back here again just to mark where the window will go. So yeah, we'll get this all dry fitted, check the template, sit nice and flat, and then we will be good to go, and then we can work on the other side. Okay, so we've cut our fiberglass angle and we've got that set up on these plastic profiles, and we've mitered it down at the back edge there and at the front edge, so really happy with the way that that fits. And we've also got our MDF window template in place as well. We've got a template for the back, but we were never completely happy with the fit across the top edge here, so what we're going to do is use that template just to recut another one, and so we can get that absolutely spot on. Okay, so that rear window template is cut and looking a lot better, far happier with the fit of that now. So we're back down in the workshop and we've got our fiberglass angle and our plastic profile pieces, and what we're going to do now is just drill the base of this fiberglass angle, and so that we can get these plastic angled pieces underneath, and we can drill through there as well, and then what we'll do is go and do a dry fit in the boat. So that's going to be a wrap for today's video, guys. Hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, give us a thumbs up, and we'll see you on the next one.